Hi, and welcome to Cisco's 5G architecture. We're here to talk to you about our Cisco 5G value chain that goes from the multi-cloud to the client. This is an open, multi-vendor architecture designed to provide connected experiences for your customers. So we're going to start with advanced automation. This is required to keep the total cost of ownership as low as possible while delivering the best experiences to your customers. We have closed loop automation, but we also have added recently advanced machine learning. So now it's not just a matter of being fast and accurate, but also predictive and getting better as the longer you use it. Then we've taken this data center and we've decentralized it by moving it closer to your edge, to your end user, and taken the subscriber services and shifted that from the core also to the edge. That way, we can open up the GTP packet, have a normal IP packet, and you can hop off the network faster, hence proliferating the peering points so that your customers can jump off the network to, say the internet faster, and at the same time have a better quality of service while reducing the amount of traffic that goes through the rest of your network. And then, of course, a converged network. 5G is all about convergence, not just 4G and 5G, but licensed, unlicensed, lightly licensed, and yes, indeed, even fixed, being able to go over the same transport and the same network. And finally, of course, security and trust. This is really a very important issue today, because you need to be able to have not just a secured network, it's a lot more than just putting firewalls everywhere, but you also need the trust. So security is something you put in, but trust is something you can actually measure. You measure that with external testing units. And what we do at Cisco is we've actually been working on this for over 10 years. And we actually have it right down into the chipset so that you have it in the hardware, and when you want to actually bring it up through automation, there are certificates in the hardware chips that will link up to certificate checks in the cloud. And if something's not right, it will not bring up the hardware. If it's right, everything comes up nice and proper. Indeed, we also do threat detection down to the network slice within the network. And if we find something, we can isolate it, automatically remediate it, and we have forensic and auditing capabilities such that we can look at the problem, identify the problem, where it came from, and ensure it doesn't happen again. Let's go on to monetizing the 5G network. And as you can see here, internet users will be growing, but it's kind of slowing down a bit because pretty much saturated that in most markets. However, you'll also see machine to machine, it's still growing very robustly. Naturally, as we go from 4G to 5G, you're going to see a big uptick in broadband speeds, and also video traffic is constantly growing, and that won't change. Well, we want to talk about two different kinds of business models, if you will, a tale of two businesses. You're going to have the connectivity provider, and they're looking simply to provide you with a connection and bandwidth. For these people, for this carrier, you need to have a very optimized, highly automated network so they can keep the cost of operations as low as possible so they can have a profit while maintaining the business in a very competitive market. But then you also have the connected experience provider. This is provider too needs to have a highly optimized, highly automated network. But they're also going to make strategic investments in certain verticals so they can go after new business, for example, enterprise and IoT. Let's take a look at some surveys here and where this business is coming from. The GSMA surveyed operators all around the world and essentially asked the question, how are you going to pay for your 5G investment? Well, it's pretty impressive because most important came up as 69% of enterprise being the business they're going to go after, and another 20% said it was important. So if you combine that important and most important, it's almost unanimous, that's where the business is going to come from. Why is that? Well, bottom line is it's understood that you will not be able to pay for 5G by raising the rates of consumers. They don't want to pay more, they can't pay anymore. So you need to provide industry-specific services, and indeed, much of that will be IoT, will play a big role, but there's also other ways to be getting your money. Instead of just providing a connection and saying, pay me for it, you can go from the other direction. and go to, let's say, content providers and say, hey, you want to deliver 4K and 8K video to your customers that requires low latency. We will let you to put your content on our edge computes and you give us a piece of the pie. And that's another way to fund your 5G investment there. And let's take a look here at a quote from Mr. John Donovan of AT&T. And he encapsulated in just a few words what we have heard from our enterprise customers over the last few years. What they want is from the enterprise is a blurring of the line that has historically been the wide area network and mobility, that being the service provider, and their local area network. So we have a recipe for your 5G success. We're going to show you how you can enhance your 5G profits by going after that specific vertical. However, if you are going to go after enterprise in a cloud environment, you need to have a technology partner who's an expert in cloud and network, and of course security, and of course enterprise. There is only one technology company that is an expert in all four of these, and that of course is Cisco. So if you want to make your WAN and mobility feel like a local area network to your enterprise customers, you have to be able to give them control, visibility, and of course security throughout your network. And how are you going to do that? You're going to do that with a set of tools, including multi-access identity management, smart cloud selection, QoE, or quality of experience, priority and control, also mobility-specific security, a mobile service grouping, and the policy setting enforcements. So that's quite a lot, but what if you could put that all together into a single cloud-native solution that runs on your 5G architecture by Cisco? If you could do that, then your enterprise customers could link to their multi-cloud environments and to their branches and their workers who are off-site and even mobile. How are you going to do that? With Cisco's Unified Domain Center. This is that cloud-native application that we just launched at Mobile World Congress and will actually be shipping as of April of this year. And what this is a set of APIs and gateways and other tools that you, the service provider, have in your premise. You can put it in your cloud, you can put it in your data center, you can put it in your central office, and it has APIs that will link into your packet core, your policy, your OSS and BSS, and your subscriber listing as needed. And with this tool, you can then go to your enterprise customers and say, we can give you the ability to have the control and visibility within your pipe that we provide you, or network slice, or even SD-WAN, so that you can use the tools that you're used to using, like Cisco DNA Center. And just as you're able to create and change and modify the services that you have at your campus or headquarters, you'll be able to have all that power and flexibility on your branches and your mobilized workforce. It's as simple as that. And that is pretty much what we have to offer here at Cisco. What I'd like to share with you, though, is a couple of use cases of how Cisco's 5G architecture actually makes this a reality, even if you have a 4G network. We're going to start with Reliance Jio of India. Reliance Jio of India has a network that's Wi-Fi and 4G. But they were able to roll out a network very fast to 18,000 cities across India, adding 100 million customers in just under 6 months. There are over 200 million customers today. By using the Cisco 5G architecture, they were able to lower the cost per gigabit by 20x while increasing consumption of data across India. And then our latest success story is Rakuten of Japan, Japan's newest mobile carrier, implementing an entire software-defined mobile network, end-to-end virtualized and cloud native. They're rolling this out in 8 months. It's going to go live in October of 2019. And by using Cisco and Cisco's Open vRAN ecosystem, have been able to reduce the total cost of ownership by up to 35%. And they're going to be rolling out new services to their customers at a fantastic discount to what's available today. And that is Cisco's 5G architecture in action. Thank you very much.